Did you know that polar bears don't drink soda or water? Hey, I'm Brandon, and welcome to Nature Meets Paper, the place where we go on an adventure to discover the world of marine biology. Today we're going to discover the polar bear. I just want to let you know that I didn't go to the Arctic this year. I went last year. I found this photo on my laptop and I just had to share it. Are you ready? Let's dive in. The polar bear is found in the Arctic Circle and around the Arctic Ocean in its bodies of water, on its ice, and surrounding land. Polar bears are adapted to living in cold conditions on the ice. They are considered a marine animal because they spend most of their time on sea ice. They prefer the areas with access to water. This is because their food source is in the water. In case you don't know what a polar bear looks like, we'll go through its features. The polar bear is covered in clear fur. Their skin is black to maintain heat. Then they have a dense coat of fur covered in guard hairs on the outside. This traps air and causes the bear to be insulated. The combination of layers of clear hair cause the bear to appear white. They need white hair to blend into the ice and hide from prey. On average, a male polar bear weighs between 700 and 1,500 pounds. The females are smaller than the males and weigh 330 to 550 pounds. Males and females show sexual dimorphism, not only in the size, but body shape. The males have very angular and thick necks and heads. Females are curvier in the neck region. I was talking with Kristen Lydra a few years ago, and a story popped into my head. She stated that it is hard to tag a male polar bear with a radio collar. The collar stays on the bear for a set time and then falls off. Since the male bears are so angular, the collar can slide right off with the head and neck with a swipe of a paw. Females are curvy, and the collar stays on. She says it's a real problem to get accurate data for the males since they can remove the collars so easily. The polar bears have stout, powerful legs, short tails, and small eyes. They have an incredible hearing. But the star of the show is their sense of smell. They can smell prey from a mile away and through several feet of ice. The polar bear's claws are also different than the other bear species. The brown bear has flat, spade-like claws great for snagging salmon and digging in the dirt for berries and roots. The polar bear has sharp, pointed claws that are used for snagging seals. Seals tend to be slippery, so they need sharp claws to grab a hold and drag them out of the water. This brings us to the diet of the polar bear. They mostly eat bearded seal and ringed seal. They feed where the water, ice, and air meet. A common feeding behavior is the still hunting behavior. The bear will wait at a breathing hole as motionless as they can and wait for the seal to breathe. They then snag the seal and drag it onto the ice surface. They can also break into seal dens through the ice. Seals can create dens inside the thick ice. The bears are so strong that they can crush the seal's den and grab the seal. On occasion, you will see polar bears near garbage dumps near civilization. These encounters can be dangerous. Brown bears might do a bluff charge to scare off people. But a polar bear will not bluff. They will just charge, and they will probably kill you. So be very careful around these bears. A fun fact about polar bears is that they don't need to drink water. All the water around them is typically frozen or trapped in salt. They get their water from metabolizing the fats from seals. This polar bear was seen on another vessel when we went to the Arctic. I was not in an ice-class vessel, and I could not go into the ice to see the bears. But my coworkers could, and they saw several polar bears, including this one. Can you tell if this is a male or a female? It's a little bit tricky, especially from a still photo. So how are the polar bears doing? The IUCN Red List has them listed as vulnerable. Since their primary habitat is off the coast on ice, the health of these animals depends on the ice being there. If the ice goes away, the polar bears will not have access to their food sources. We will just have to wait and see what happens to the polar bears. With this, I call this adventure finished. Thanks so much for going on this adventure with me. It means so much that you take time to watch this video to discover something new. I got this reference photo from a coworker in the Arctic last year. Thanks for being active in this community by liking, sharing, and commenting. I love hearing your stories. Remember, share your discoveries and adventures with a friend. I've been Brandon, and I will see you in our next adventure.